Welcome to Tuesday night, everybody. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
And I'm very happy to be here. We're missing T. Strachan again, but he's doing all right. It's just a bit rainy out back, you know?
It's a bit rainy. I talked to him today. He is feeling a little better and better each day, so that's good. And I also want to send a special shout out to E.O. Anderson for our theme song. Like many people in the world today, I received my Spotify Wrapped, and when I played it, we all watch it together. My wife and kids and I all watch it together, and they were like, "Your number one played song was," and it was "How Did I Get Here" by Dislocated Boner, and my everyone's like, "What?" And my wife was like, "Oh, Ken!" Like, and I was like, "It's the theme song for our show." She's like, "That's words."
Was
somehow.
she like, how did it become dislocated? Obviously, that was the first question.
It was like, how did I get? Because the other thing is, so when they like tell you like, oh, you're a big Rolling Stones guy, and they'll play, "Sympathy for the Devil," they'll be like, oh, you listen to Dirty Heads, and they'll give you Sloth's Revenge. When they're giving you like a slice of a song, it's AI. They're not looking for the cleanest 10, 15 seconds. You're getting EO in his heyday, sitting in front of a microphone, saying,
EO just flowing.
He's flowing,
Yeah.
And I was like reaching for I haven't reached for the volume button like that in a while. But anyways, if you get an email saying, "Hey, you're somebody's number one band in 2024," I'm the guy. It was me. It was us. We did it together.
Or if Ken gets somehow flagged in the system for this at some level.
They're like, there was one guy who listened to this song. One guy.
Do we know this guy from Kensington?
It said I was 99.9% of the people who listened to that song last year. I mean, there's a lot of people who listened to it, but I dominated. All right, so awesome. We do appreciate the tunes. Robert Cohen, what's up? Ken Harris, welcome, sir.
Yes, it is Tuesday and a Wednesday. It's weird.
It's Tuesday on a Wednesday.
Sorry.
Hey, thank God it is Tuesday still. I mean, that's still how I feel. Coming off the bye week, technically still Victory Tuesday, I believe. I
believe so too.
We're coming off a win still coming off a win, and we're heading into playing a team that we will be and are favored. What's the latest? So it was 6 points or more.
I saw 7 and 7.5.
Yep.
Opened at 7. I went to 7.5. That's the last I saw. It came down a little bit.
I take the number. This guy. I'm surprised this game's on the board at this point in time. Like they're Spencer Rattler and somebody else.
Oh no, it's whatchamacallit. Hayden. I wrote his name down because I don't know him.
It's not Spencer Rattler.
Jake Hayner. So it was Spencer Rattler over the 7-game losing streak. He started 3 of those before Dennis Allen got axed. They lost 7 in a row. They've won 3 of the last 4. Granted, it's poopy teams, but whatever.
Yeah.
One was Atlanta. I mean, that was a little troubling, but that's divisional stuff. But yeah, man, this guy last week came in at the end. They're talking about Derek Carr having a fractured hand, and he's in the protocol. That's a double.
Oh, here's
whammy.
no way he's not playing
But
at all, right?
They're not sure because the hand he's been dealing with.
The hand he's been dealt.
The hand he's been dealt.
Wow,
it was already injured. This wasn't a new injury. This was I think it was injured worse, perhaps.
Yeah, I thought it was wrist. It's no wrist at all.
It says fractured hand, so maybe that's a carpal that I'm not.
I think that, like,
certain
it's
about
negligence, like criminal negligence, to make Derek Carr play with broken bones for that team now, and a concussion,
and he went under the tent,
dude,
and he's in the protocol. So, but when that happened, they bring in. Sorry, let me get back to my notes. Jake Hayner again. Went to Washington for 2 years. Played behind Jake Browner.
H-O-E Hayner.
H-A-E.
H-A-E.
But you can't make a housewife. You know what I mean? It's difficult. It's very difficult. The way you spelled it seems like it would be even more difficult, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I thought it was one of those weird, spelled O but sounds like an A words, but it's not.
Horner. So, anyways, this gentleman came into the game last week while Spencer Rattler was designated the emergency quarterback, got sacked, and then handed off 3 times before he took a knee. So It looks to me like, by the way, if you can tell me the name of the New Orleans Saints head football coach.
Was Dennis Allen.
It was, and I've never heard what happened after that.
Dennis Allen was the last coach. The current
if you know
coach,
this, then you're great at this because I have no idea, and I've been paying attention.
Not Canales. Dang it, Canales is Carolina.
I will say this.
Give me a hint.
It coincides. It's very similar to my last name. It starts with the same letter. There is vowel sandwiching, two consonants after that, and I've never heard of the man in my life. Darren
Rinna?
Rizzi.
Darren
Rizzi. That's who we're going up against. Darren Rizzi.
I'm not gonna pretend like. I mean, I've heard that. I'm not gonna pretend like I know who the coach of the Saints is at this point in time. I mean, I'm a Commanders fan. We're higher on that. We're higher on the food chain finally. It's a sad scenario. They have had great players.
Yeah. Well, a couple of them are not in. It's good for us. Like I mean, shit. Rashid Shaheed out. Taysom, your boy.
Taysom's out. I mean, with Taysom,
Olave's been out. I mean,
Olave's been out.
That's a big deal for us. Valdez Scantling seems to be their go-to receiver, but their leading receiver, of course, it's Alvin Kamara.
Of course,
leading receiver. Next guy is a tight end. This is good for us. This is
the team. The Saints have got to run. They have got to run the ball. You've got to figure out a way because we have not been able to stop it all the time, and they're putting Jake Hayner under center.
Yep.
So they got to believe, hey, listen, here's a team people have been able to run against, and that's all we got. We have Alvin Kamara. We can't just throw to him all day long. We've got to hand the ball off to him and get him yards.
You got to get it to him any which way. He leads the team in receptions, yards from scrimmage. He's 73 yards away from going 1,500 yards from scrimmage for the fourth time in his career. I hope that doesn't happen against this defense. I'm sure they know that, and they've talked about that. He is, I think, 60-some yards away from going over 1,000 yards rushing for the first time in his career. But he's got a 4.2 average and is top 5 in the league in carries. They are handing it to that scrap iron badass.
He's awesome.
What he is.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
And that's what we're going to get.
And it's exactly the dose.
And I'll be honest with you, that's
if I hand it to him, they're going to chuck it to him because he's their leading receiver.
He's going to have 25-plus targets no matter what. As much as you want to say of all the other guys that they don't have, if they say hike, as you and T like to say.
I love how hike is still utilized. It's actually tremendous.
They say hike and then give the ball to Alvin Kamara. Anytime that happens, they huge win for the Saints. I mean, he's a stud. Having to stop him, we can look down our nose a little bit at the New Orleans Saints at this point in time. Their season's over for the most part, but Alvin Kamara is still a great player, and I mean,
he's a badass.
Yeah, he's going to get his, and so
we just got to contain him and not let him get in the end zone, in the red zone. I mean, because obviously he is the focal point, and I know Valdez Scantling has some talent, but their tight ends are the guys that have been catching all their touchdowns. I think before Taysom went out, he was obviously a red zone threat, and then both their tight ends are two of the next 4 leading receivers. Both have 3 or 4 touchdowns each, so it's going to be Kamara, play pass, tight end, Kamara, and this is what's coming. We know what's coming, and they're going to try and control that ball and keep Jaden Daniels off the field in the town that he made a name for himself. You know what I mean? This is where he left. Those guys that were so mad about him leaving Arizona State, that trashed his locker and videoed it and talked all that shit. This is the city that welcomed him. This is the state. This is the part of the world that welcomed him with open arms.
Yep.
And it wasn't easy following the guy he followed to get in there and do what he did. And it's going to be neat to see how he responds. I got a great feeling that says that he's going to respond very well this week.
Is it AGH? Welcome, Rhett, Greg. Good evening, lads. Where's
good evening,
AGH? This is. I mean, here we are, feeling pretty darn good about ourselves. And he talks about the history of overconfident Washington football teams.
I'm not overconfident.
No, I don't think so.
I like the way we're playing right now.
I would bet on us to win. I would bet on us to cover. I think that if we're, I feel like I know I've said it a million times with way worse teams. Like, you kind of think like, well, if we think we're, a playoff team, like you got to beat the Saints. And we haven't beat the Saints in that situation many a time because we thought we were a playoff team, but we were wrong.
It's fair to think that way. I don't. I'm not mad at anybody that feels that way.
No, we are a playoff team, and this is a team that we have. I think we have to beat. It's not a must-win because of we can still mathematically make the playoffs, but I think it's a must-win in the sense
of math. We're just a fun team to watch right now without math. Yes.
But we have to we have to beat the New Orleans Saints. Like that is like it's like a Jedi training scenario. Like we've got to beat these kinds of teams on the regular.
They play into what we do well
Yeah.
on defense. That matchup's difficult, and they're not great defensively, and we've got some firepower for them. And we're missing some firepower as well, but we're getting some guys back on the defensive side. We get some bullets in the chamber. So,
is this an update? Did Zane Gonzalez really hurt his left foot?
He was on the injury report today. He was limited, I believe. I don't know what that means.
Watching Brandon McManus kick a field goal last week for the Green Bay Packers again.
He kicked one.
I know.
I picked his nasty ass up. Cost me.
Rhett
beat me to
what
to
a
knock
journey
me out of the
we've
playoffs.
been on. I mean,
who's gonna kick now? What the shit is Mosley ready for this? Do you think Mosley is ready for this?
I think he's ready for it.
Like, if he just needed to come out for one game, do you think Mosley could do this?
Oh, we could just go no kicker, just all 2-point conversions, go 4 on 4th every time. But
I imagine Jaden Daniels probably has some kick talent. He's just so
I'm
good
just
at everything.
imagining him, his leg just like the Indian dude who tore his shoulder, pumping his fist at like the Masters.
Some dude
Akshay
dives in to
Bhatia.
block it, rolls up on our kicker. No, it's not happening. But
so we're basically. The thing is, I mean, I think it has cost us a little bit, but not the way it cost North Turner. That was like the famous way to get really burned by kickers. It was a terrible kicker season. We were a playoff team. Everything was just fine. 99, 2000-ish, we lost obviously on a field goal attempt. But all year long we lost.
Tress can kick. I like
we
that.
lost,
AGH.
We lost a lot of games by kickers.
This is bullshit. Like, come on, Zane. Like, what the heck? We've had decent injury luck this year. Not terrible, but at that position, what the geez, man.
I feel like
mental health injuries.
At this point, cycling through kickers the way we have. So I know that there's these groups around the country. Like, there's this one group that brings in people from Australia and New Zealand. Every year they bring in like 5 or 6 guys, and
one of them punts for LSU.
Probably. Then they just train to be kickers, football kickers, place kickers, punters, all of it. Some of them make it, some of them don't. There's now a pipeline where they're starting to pull in these MLS, professional soccer players, that aren't playing for big money overseas. Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboys, he's a soccer player. I mean, these guys have legs, goalies, and so like
they've got legs and they know how to use
this
them.
happens every time.
Oh my God! And then you elbowed Wonder Woman directly to the trachea.
Wonder Woman took a beating there. Sorry. So I don't know.
Well, we talked about kickers enough. We suck at
kickers, but I would like.
We suck at healthy kickers. We've been all right.
I feel like Adam Peters should just hire a part-time guy. Just bring in a guy who just want and be like, listen, you're in charge of. Give me like 3 soccer players and 3 Australian dudes, and let's see what happens. Put them all in a room together and just let them go.
Kick away.
You guys just start kicking. All right, you're right. Enough kicker talk. So. Jaden Daniels. The other thing I wanted to talk about coming off a bye week is the Jaden Daniels, quote unquote, rookie story. Is he or isn't he the offensive player of the year? Rookie offensive player of the year, and he has been far and away in the lead almost all season long. You can people. He has shown a few chinks in the armor with the ribs, literally. And Brock Bowers, meanwhile, is like probably. Some people are saying he's just like the best tight end in the league right now, period. He's killing it with catches and yards, and he is now, at least in the conversation, against Jaden Daniels. It's like the cool thing about this game against the Saints specifically, as well as these last 4 games, I mean, we do what we think we're supposed to do. That conversation gets settled, and it's for sure Jaden. But I just think first of all, I think it's impressive what Brock Bowers is doing to be in the conversation with Jaden Daniels, how good he was out of the gate, Jaden, that is. But that, I want him to be the offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, me too.
Yeah,
I agree. I concur. I think he is. I don't think it's going to be an issue, and I think he's going to show why. Coming off a bye week, we all know this guy knows how to take care of his body, and he said that's what he did. He said he rested up mentally, physically. He just let the some of the soreness get out of the way, just let go of it mentally, and I cannot wait to see a rejuvenated number 5 coming out here, fresh legs. 2 weeks to heal any of those bumps and bruises that might be nagging, and watch him go down into a place where the motivation level for him is always extremely high. This has got to be such a big deal for him. This is going to be so cool to watch how he. I want to see him in pregame, and of course he's going to be sitting there giggling, smiling, singing whatever's in that ear. I cannot wait to watch him perform against the Saints on Sunday, because I really believe we're going to see some big things. Now, sucks that Noah Brown's out. We haven't touched on it yet. Sucks. But listen, it wasn't like he was such a dominant number 2 guy and it's going to change our offense. It's not. It's going to change. We got 2 guys Ertz didn't practice today. 2 of our big third down guys with Eckler out. That's 3 of our top 5 guys that have gotten first downs for us this season, guys that we go to, playmakers on 3rd and long or 3rd and not necessarily manageable.
Yeah.
That's something it's bothersome to me. I think it's why we saw KJ Osborne get picked up today. But what I'd like to see is a little bit of Luke, a little bit of Sinnott, and one guy that's got over 280 first downs in his career is cleared, and he's going to be out there. And he is going to be, I think you're going to see one of Jaden's more reliable friends, especially if Ertz can't go. Jamison Crowder comes back onto the scene this week.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that's such a great deal, but I'm saying with those 3 guys that are first down makers gone, Jamison's a guy that knows where to be. He can be reliable, and that's the guy that when you see him make a couple first downs this week.
I think he's coming. I think he's on the field before KJ.
Yeah, no doubt. We're getting a big echo. We got
Echo.
We got noise stuff. We got Thornton,
Big
Mellon,
echo.
Belichick. We got go for it on 4th. I haven't looked. We got some healthy O-linemen. We got a great board. But echo, big echo. So the screen went out on the echo machine.
The screen went out on the echo. Yeah, we have a technical issue here.
But
Let's fiddle.
And that is Redskins first down. Is that a good echo? Is it like I said into the fan? The McRib is back. Ken.
The McRib is back. In a world where the McRib is back, 2 guys eat McRibs. I don't know. We'll,
and now,
we're not doing anything differently, so we apologize.
in the green corner, wearing a T-shirt slightly too small for the tan line on his arms, the bearded one,
AKA
Dr. K.
Creamy biceps.
Meringolo. I don't know what's going on here, but I was having a good time saying stuff.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. I'll turn it down a little bit on here. We'll see. Tell me if that does anything. Tell me if this does anything.
I look like a real douche doing this, but it really my face gets red, and I do like.
We don't have any control over our sound at the moment.
What would echo? What's the typical echo button? And why do we just start echoing?
I don't know. What's his?
Are we echoing the whole time? Is this shit turned on?
It is turned on. There shouldn't be an echo. It's all T's fault.
It's Wednesday's fault.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why we have it set to our Tuesday setting. It's not set to Wednesday. Oh my God, that is exactly what's happening. All right, so you're this, you're green, you're that. So I wonder if I could unplug his mic.
Ladies, and you made it quieter, but there's still an echo.
Okay.
Like a bitch-ass echo is what it's being described as. That's what I'm reading.
Bitch-ass echo.
I read like it's a bitch-ass echo, and what the hell are we doing?
All right, I'm at least going to turn this back up a little bit. I don't know what the echo is.
So I don't know if NES Tecmo is suggesting that we poured whiskey on the soundboard, or we could fix it by pouring whiskey on the soundboard.
We
I'm
need
not
to set
that
the sound back
technical.
to Tuesday. That's the problem. Other problem is we have Dislocated Boner as our #1 band on Spotify Wrapped for this year. It's an issue. It's an issue. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Guys, real quick, did the echo just start, or have we always been echoing as we've been talking?
Yeah, because we didn't change anything from last week. I think so. One of the things, I think there is probably an issue with this board. We might have to ride this board. We might have to ride this dirty on the way out. We'll shorten it up on the back side, But that might be the issue. Darn it. Yeah, he's saying no. It happened like there was like a switch hit. He said nothing that.
That's not good.
Yeah. So I don't think that was us. Unfortunately, maybe it'll switch back off.
Shit. Just started. Ken, you were pulling something under the computer. Sorry, pulling something up on the computer, and it started.
I was.
You were inappropriately touching something.
Okay.
That's what I'm gathering from the board.
All right, that's good. That's good. Advice. Let's get rid of some things.
Things. Thornton Mellon back to Carolina.
Oh, I think they got it.
Thornton Mellon back to school. I don't know. Actually, everyone's on here. They're the only ones that can hear this. I should probably stop talking.
Thornton Mellon. Paging Thornton Mellon. All right, I think I did some things. I think I changed some things around and may have potentially solved the issue. Maybe.
This was definitely done by Chase Young. He sent somebody.
Yeah. Fixed. I'm just guessing. Is what someone's about to say. We will.
Hopefully, perhaps,
yeah,
the echo.
Perhaps. The echo wasn't there at the start, says AGH. This is a real. Sod it, it's fine, says the Welsh gentleman from Wales. There we go. That's what we should do.
And now, Greg Martin comes in with a nope. An N-O, Ken.
What does that mean? We're still echoing?
That's why I did that, because I thought it would sound good in the. No, you haven't. We can drive through it. We might have to.
Might have to drive through it. All right,
we
so.
keep saying stupid shit like this. People that don't hear the echo.
Okay, we can drive through it. We're gonna drive through it. We're just gonna drive through it. We're going.
Oh, now they're saying it's good. Ho ho ho!
I feel like people are punking us on the board.
It
but
just
that's
stopped.
Okay.
After you appropriately touch it, it stopped.
I don't know. You know what? This is the thing. This is how our show has worked since 2015.
It really has, and I've always appreciated it.
We don't actually. We like something's going wrong. We don't attack it from a standpoint of we know how to fix stuff.
We have a board for this.
But listen,
thank you all very much.
I'm looking at probably 56 buttons, maybe 65 buttons. Yeah. I'm going to push every single one of them at some point in time. Not because I know what they do, because at some point I'm going to need one of those buttons to work for me once.
Yeah, what can you do for me, button?
Yeah. So all right, so we're back, and we're finished with kickers. We're finished with
thank God
postseason awards in week 14. We're not going to do that anymore.
Coach Riz. There's no more Coach Riz.
No more Coach Ribs.
No more McRib talk.
How about
for
this?
For God's sake, that was echo purpose only.
Let's give the people something to look at besides you and me. What if I showed you?
God,
what if I told you?
I'm nervous.
What if I told you that?
What the hell are you doing? Stats?
The National Football Conference. No, this is
okay. Good.
This
good.
is the current
I can't see that far, sir.
I'm going to reshape it up here in a second with the playoff, but I wanted to show how terrible the New York Giants are. They're 2-11. They're already eliminated. They're the only ones eliminated in the NFC. The Detroit Lions in charge at 12-1. The NFC North, absolute juggernaut division. And really, if you think about it, outside of the NFC North, we are, we're the Eagles and Commanders are the only game in town, as evidenced by the playoff standings. By the way, I must give credit to ESPN because they need your help. They need your money. They're hurting. Disney needs your dough. Here's the NFC playoff standings. Detroit and Philly have both clinched 12-1, 11-2. They're pretty good teams.
Good teams.
Interestingly, another 11-2 team on the board, all the way down there at number 5, the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. They are
creeping on a come up. Those Vikings. They're just laying there, ready to pounce. Like Vikings. You know what I mean? Just lying in the weeds, ready to pounce like a Viking.
I will say, I don't know how many Vikings pounced, but I know they did something like pounce adjacent. But it was a little bit less pouncy.
All right, well.
They were wearing furs. They were painted up. I mean, I don't know. I think that the Minnesota Vikings, the most interesting thing to me right now, because I find this team to be, I mean, Kirk Cousins does nothing but leave teams, and then things like magically whatever. I mean, Sam Darnold's having a year. They have all their pieces work, right? They're all good. Jefferson and Addison. But the thing about the sneaky goodness of the Minnesota Vikings is this:
It's cool.
Their season will come down to Daniel Jones before it's over.
No, it's going to be JJ
This season in the playoffs. JJ's not playing anytime this season. I'm saying I'm saying before the season is over. Before this season is over.
You love predicting these weird things about Daniel Jones.
Not just Daniel Jones.
Kind of Daniel Day Jones.
Daniel
Jones.
Anybody?
There's all these weird predictions.
Danielle Jones for sure.
Yeah, we do need that 6 seed, guys. I said it'd be fun to go into Philly and punch them right in the Nuggets and win, but that's not a fun. That just doesn't. Whatever. I want us to play.
All right, let's
someone besides Philly. That's all. No, that's
let's
what
go back.
This is what everyone's.
Let's go back to the this scenario. So the thing is, it's more precarious than it seems. As confident as we are, not overconfident, but just confident. Our playoff spot. I mean, we're firmly in control of not only our own destiny. We have a little bit of love to give, but the Vikings and the Packers. The Vikings have 11 wins. Packers already have 9 wins. Those teams are virtual, not 100% locks, but they're virtual locks.
Packers can come back, and Packers got some business to deal with. Packers are only one up on us, Ken.
So Packers play the Dolphins this weekend, I believe.
Interesting matchup.
And they I believe they also they might play the Vikings again. I know they play the Bears.
They're at Seattle.
So yeah, so those are two. Do they have the Bears again? The Packers.
The Packers. They do. They wind up with the Bears.
Yeah. So that we can't count on that.
But here's what the Packers are: at Seattle versus New Orleans, at Minnesota, and versus Chicago. That's one of the teams you got to keep an eye on. That's ahead of us. I think the only one to be.
So they're not playing Miami.
No, but it was a good thought. Like, it's a very warm climate this type of year.
I love Miami to get a shot at them
for Green Bay. It'd be nice for the team and the guys, but no, it's not happening.
We're one back. Their game to they're traveling to Seattle. You said
they are at Seattle. They're going to listen to some noise, and if they can,
yep.
Someone mentioned on the board earlier. I can't see, but someone mentioned it's very true. We get the dub, they get the L, and we're all tied up, and we will, and it will be the same at the end of the year if we happen to win what we're supposed to win. Handily, I think we have the tiebreaker in the conference against Green Bay. So if we can wind up with the same, if we can wind up with the same record as them, it would be very, very good for the good guys.
Oh, and because we're already a game up on them, as you can see in the conference column, we're already one game above them. If they were to lose this weekend and we were to win, that would be a 2-game lead in the conference standing with 3 to go.
And so we're looking pretty good against that scenario.
It's optimistic because in a season where there's a playoff spot with our name on it, and we just have to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
It really
just win, baby. That's how you get it.
We're not trying to play for 3 spots. We're really trying to play for. There's only really 2 spots that we can compete for at this point in time. I don't expect the Vikings to lose out, and so they're going to be a lock as the first wild card. So then really the only real, I think the only real mathematical option for us is 6 or 7. And so 7's going to be a dogfight. Looking at it again, the one thing that stands out to me, the Rams, they're interesting because they're a game behind us, and Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, they're really good.
They are. But here's what they got. Their schedule's really good too. At San Fran, at the smelly ass Jets. Versus Seattle and at Arizona. That's tough sledding, as opposed to a team that we talked about that we're a little bit worrisome about that we have to play in Week 17. That could be a factor. The Arizona Cardinals.
So wait, the Cardinals.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
My bad. The Atlanta Falcons at Vegas versus the Giants versus Carolina and us. I mean, dang, man, that's crazy.
The Atlanta Falcons, I thought I thought they were better than they are. They have not played well. I don't know that they have a level in them that's better than what they've been playing.
Now, if Kirk Cousins gets us again, I will be sick. I will be physically ill. Nothing against Kirk. I just don't want to see another celebration from his white ass, if that's possible. If you're allowed to say it, I'm done with him.
Oh, you're allowed to say it.
Thank you.
We're 2 games up on the Falcons with a chance to play them. So if we beat them, we own them, which is the way you want it, obviously. But
By the way, I like Kirk Cousins. I just don't want to see any more celebrations. I don't love him. He'd be no fun to hang out with.
He would be no fun to hang out with.
Zero fun to hang out with.
He's been in the league long enough. Did you see that video of him and his at post game with the Vikings?
Was he dressed as a member of the Brady Bunch? Was he wearing brown shoes?
He was wearing a lot of corduroy.
Was there a mayonnaise sandwich?
A lot of corduroy, like head to toe corduroy.
Was there choiring? Was he doing any choiring?
He may have been
praising the Lord Jesus
eating some
Christ.
hot dogs.
Yes.
But no, it was nice. Basically, like it was a video that they put out, and it was whoever was mic'd up. I guess he was mic'd up, but he went around and Kevin O'Connor and Sam Darnold and all the linemen and all the receivers, Addison and JJ and all. I mean, the interactions, like again, they're like 2-second interactions, but
they loved him a lot more when he left than our team loved him when he left here.
Yeah,
everyone was like, peace. No one said anything bad. They were like just deuces, and
I mean, I think
there was no love fest. There was no hate.
There's certainly no hate.
But
That's a big deal. Like there's people like you cannot care. I think people I think players like him. They don't love him, but I don't think they hate him. But then I think that's good for Kirk. He his career earnings. He's going to go down as one of the highest career earning players in the era. Before that all changes.
Oh no, he's mastered. He's a pimp. He's Mr. Rogers, and this is his neighborhood.
Yeah, and he's been so. Whereas we've seen it up close and personal, we've watched that show for years now, and we called it out. It was like, hey, he's a weirdo, but just because he's different than us. But he's been consistent for a long time in locker rooms, and I think that gets a little bit of respect from the league. They're like, all right, all right, he's still alive. He's still he's still throwing balls, and he hasn't changed.
No, he's like a religious pimp.
Yes, he's like a religious pimp, but like
he dresses like one.
An uncool. I feel like the least cool religious pimp.
Yeah, but not a dick.
But not a dick.
No. He's very confounding.
He's very confounding. He's hard to root against. It's like I want so hard to root against him, and I never, ever, ever will.
He smells like potpourri.
He smells great. His personal hygiene's beyond reproach.
He's just a kind soul.
I love that as his career, because he's showing signs now. Atlanta drafted Penix, not Penix, monster.
Yeah,
they drafted.
That's where the front office whiffed.
Yes. So 2 things. One, you're like, all right, you're gonna sign a guy for $150 million and then not give him, something to play with.
Oh, I was talking about not drafting Penix and instead calling him Penix.
Big mistake.
It was good for the family moving forward, but terrible for the fans. Terrible for us.
If Kirk Cousins. He's still a top 20 quarterback in this league.
Top shit. 20, dude, his numbers are bonkers, man.
And even though he hasn't been playing great.
His yardage, it's just his touchdowns is not, and sometimes he likes to spin it gorgeously to the guys in the other colored jersey. And he didn't do that a ton for us, but when he does it great.
He hasn't bounced out of starter job status at all. And this year has even if the Atlanta Falcons said, you know what, we want to go, we got to blow things up. We need to go with a younger guy. It might not be the longest line, but there'll be a line for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Because the quarterback, there's no quarterbacks.
No, exactly. That's why he's like an archangel, not a full angel in the whole scheme of his religious pimpness.
Do you remember when we talked to Dan Helly? He was on our show.
I do remember that.
NFL Network, local guy, awesome dude.
He was my teammate on our 10-year-old football team, and he caught a pass in quadruple overtime to win the championship, which we covered.
We got it. By the way, we can dig it up. We have the archives of our interview with Dan Helly.
Good dude.
He's a super fun guy.
He really is a fun guy.
We talked about Kirk Cousins. This is when Kirk Cousins was, I believe, either his first or second franchise tag, but he was still playing for us. And we were talking about the whole notion of what the F are we doing with this guy? Like He
I
clearly
think he was studying to be a priest at this time.
Dan Hellie.
No,
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. He was absolutely splitting time between the field and the seminary, and we're like, he's the best quarterback that we can hope to have, and we can no matter think about this. Think about how crazy this is. We could have locked him up for $18 to $19 million a year for as many years as we wanted. Think about that. He's still playing right now. And then these guys are getting $30 to $40 million a year rolling out of bed.
We wouldn't have JD5.
Oh, no, okay. No. I 100%.
That's all.
We lived through it. We got through it.
We would have.
We get our rewards.
We would have Pope Cousins.
Yes,
and
but Dan Hellie.
We would be 9-8.
Yes,
every year he makes the Pro Bowl. He would be top 10 in the league.
Still have
in
Dan
passing.
Snyder. Dan Snyder would still be the owner.
Oh
because I believe that. Bruce Allen may
There's
still be.
There's no way those two could coexist. Although, well, Kirk Cousins would be man enough to, fight the devil on this one.
He might have been like our knight in shining armor. But I just remember Dan Hellie.
Kirk is not Catholic. I don't think he's Mormon.
No, he's just he's a virtuous dude.
Midwestern religious.
But
is that a thing?
But the Dan Hellie quote always stands out to me. Is we talked about and we put up. We were looking at the screen, and at the time it was like the Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and I mean a lot.
Aaron
Rodgers, Matt Ryan, like all these guys that were at the top of the league. I don't know if Peyton Manning might have been with Denver at the time, but either way, we're like, Dan, like Kirk's going to become one of the best quarterbacks in this league just when all these guys retire.
Yeah,
and now he's not. There's going to be teams that will pay him to be their starting quarterback. I mean, maybe 5-6 more years.
He provides stability.
He does.
He's like when you when all these ladies hit 30 and they just are like, you will be my husband and we will create a marriage together.
Yeah.
God bless you, Kirk Cousins. You're the safety valve for every 30-year-old bachelorette.
He is going to get handed teams.
I've called him a lot of crap tonight.
This Saints team.
I don't know why I'm going
that
off
we're about to
Kirk.
play.
I don't even dislike him. I just
no.
After the second whiskey kicks in, it doesn't matter who we're talking about.
No. But he's going to get the reins of 4 and 12, 4 and 13, 6 and 11 teams.
And he'll sit in the pocket and take vicious hits and wait till the last second and deliver balls on the money and blah, blah, blah. Then he'll have one day when it just goes haywire, and then he'll just pray. And
his dad was a pastor, according to Ken Harris, so therefore it must be true. But yeah, so we'll give Kirk his flowers. I just like watching him play. It's on top of brain because we have the Falcons-Vikings game from this past week up on the screen. So just watching the
scouting, watching a little film, watching the Vikings because I do like watching Minnesota. Because I think they point out some of the ways in which the Washington Commanders have not yet gotten there. Certainly defensively, the Vikings, but they're old. They're aging. Their guys. They're studs. Are you talking about the Vikings right now?
Well, these are the teams we're measuring ourselves against. And when I watch the Vikings, you said, I'm watching film. I'm watching film.
But we're not supposed to watch when we're doing film.
That's true. It's true. You know what?
You're ADD sometimes.
I need to have the sound effect, the projector sound effect. And,
ding, 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 ding. I need that for the empty glass.
It's just because I don't want to talk about the Noah Brown being sat. It does not make me want to talk about long-term replacement, crap, roster building. There's the stuff I love. Yeah. All the draft and free agents next year. It does not make me want to think about that. First and foremost, I'm pissed that the number 85 is not going to be on the field. He's been great this year.
I'm pissed I didn't sing Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire when we had the echo. Proceed, sir.
It was a big mistake.
I know it was. I was just thinking about it.
I'm pissed that we don't have Noah on the field, and I'm also super excited about a guy that you may know as Luke McCaffrey. I think Luke McCaffrey can win from a wide receiver standpoint. I think he can win most of the one-on-ones that Noah won. Now, Noah's, an 8-year veteran? He was getting by on some veteran stuff sometimes, and he was doing it on the second and third cornerback most times. But I
he
think
runs perfect routes, and I
Yes.
think Luke is a great route runner. But we need some more production out of Luke because I like when the stands scream his name.
I think he is going to fill those shoes more than say Oz or
Well, yes,
and by the way, and I think that De'Ami Brown is more than capable of being a physical blocking wide receiver because we might have to do the whole like Moneyball thing. Like Noah Brown as not have a big name and big game and big contract as he is for us, he was huge. He was a big body on the outside, almost a tight end size.
Yeah.
He was physical with the
tough
run
as
game.
shit is what he is.
And he was open. He got open and he made catches in contested situations.
21 of his 35 receptions were first downs for us. That's a big deal in production. Obviously, his one touchdown was unforgettable forever for the rest of our lives. So obviously, we're all big fans of this guy. But 21 of the 35, 60% of your catches are for a first down. That's a big deal, especially when Zach Ertz has a similar percentage. Yeah. And we're losing probably both of them this week. Yeah. I'm not certain about Ertz. Other people might have more. I just know that he did know he was a DNP today. And listen, it's a lot of vets on Wednesdays that can DNP and just
in
work
week
out fine.
15.
Right, of course.
And also, Kevin,
but off a bye week was curious to me. That's all.
You know what? And I don't think we're so. I used to accuse this team on Hawks Haven on a regular basis of having the hubris to sit guys against lesser opponents. Like, you're like, oh, we're going to give Trent Williams an extra week off because we're playing the winless Carolina Panthers, and then we lose to the winless team. I don't think we're doing those kinds of things with our guys. But I do think when you look at the opportunity that this provides our front office this week is a perfect opportunity for that second and third round to show up.
Yes.
Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey.
It's time.
This is like baseball. This is like baseball when you don't get a guy until July or August to like really start contributing every single day. This is July or August in a baseball
season.
Season.
Those guys that time of year start hitting their stride. Yes. And it becomes a little more comfortable.
Spend a couple games in the minors.
Exactly.
Get called up.
They're not veterans, but they're not rookies. And these guys are no longer rookies. They've been at this.
They are
since
players.
Last spring, and they're great athletes. I wrote Crowder and Sinnott and Luke about that's what I said. And I got to talk a little bit about Crowder, and you got to knock out Sinnott and Luke. Thank God. Kirk Cousins versus 3 through 6.
Yes.
Crowder, Sinnott, and Luke. It's actually
Luke.
Yeah, it's Abraham, Martin, and John-ish.
Yes, it is.
But I will say this: if we get first downs, I don't care what their name is, as long as they're pointing and the burgundy and gold are moving the ball, because that's what we need. Yep. No Eckler, no Ertz, no Noah Brown. These have been third down makers, the guys you rely on, the guys that are showing the way. Well, let's let these two rookies. They've been watching how it's been paved, and that's the reason why the veterans and the rookies are here. So let's see how this transpires, because this could be a match made in heaven, and this could be the time when we need it, like you just said. And I was thinking of a cool quote, and I got nothing, but let's go Sinnott and Luke.
Sinnott and Luke, in particular, the cool thing about those two really being pressed into a more of a forward position, in this battle.
Like a couple of pressed hams.
They really, because they're going to be playing receiving positions. It's Jaden Daniels. He is going to make them, look good. He's going to put them in spots. He throws such an accurate ball when he's healthy, obviously, but his like where he can hit a receiver. Just watch the replays. When you watch the replays of his throws, it's not accidental that it's going to the exact spot where the receiver needs to get the ball. That's huge. That's next level, and that's why guys like Luke McCaffrey and Ben Sinnott, I believe, will thrive. We're not asking these guys to show up in Week 15 with Rob Johnson or freaking Jeff George, in year 18.
Rob Johnson,
just random Kent Graham or
on December
Tony
11th,
Banks.
2024. There's a Rob Johnson site.
Just the freaking parade of disaster quarterbacks late in the season. I hate to bring it up because
do you?
because we always
Do
hate
you?
to. We watched a game. I watched 2 games at FedEx Field against the New York Giants when we had to win. We threw out the kind of quarterbacks you never ever want to have. I mean, you're talking about Mark Sanchez. You're talking about Josh
was not
Johnson.
there.
May he rest his soul. Again, these are people.
Wait, did you say Josh Johnson has perished?
No, I just because
He's still amongst us. He's with us.
because I like him more than
He's
the
playing on
previous
his
name I
21st
said.
team. Yeah, fine.
I like the fact that Jaden Daniels is going to be in charge of, to some extent, the success of Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey this week, and Jamison Crowder for that matter. I mean, Jamison Crowder, his veteran savvy is going to attract the ball
Twice. Twice when it matters
Yes.
is what I'm predicting.
And-
Twice
yeah.
when it matters, because he's not someone that's going to fill anyone's spot. Sinnott and Luke need to do that.
Mhm.
He is the guy he's Mr. Reliable. Oh, reliable
Yep.
is all I'm saying. It's going to be nice to have him back in the absence of a Noah Brown out wide, while also letting Luke go get his. So
I don't know what AGH was saying. No, Ken, to. Please tell me, and I'll never do it again.
No. It's fair. You say it a lot. I say it a lot.
I'm sorry.
I want to see Lattimore. We haven't even talked about
Okay, so
Lattimore.
this-
Can
this
we
is
talk
the-
about Lattimore?
Well,
Sorry.
one
Got
last
it, got
thing,
it.
but one last
Got
thing on
it.
the offensive side of the
Got
ball
it.
before we go over there, because we talk
Got it.
about
Got
the need for Luke and Ben and Jameson to do well with Jaden out there. I think that the way that this offense is playing right now, the way that the Cliff Kingsbury is calling plays, he has not fallen off the cliff with the K that everyone likes to talk about. I don't think it's funny, but
You just did draw attention to it.
I know. I think that getting some of these guys a chance. The thing what I keep coming back to is we didn't come into this season with some juggernaut roster that everyone was just like penciling into the playoffs or beyond.
No, we had no chance.
Losing Noah Brown is a big deal to us. That's the record for the season. You want some fresh paper?
No, I want to see what the
Yeah, yeah.
record.
We-
No, don't talk about it.
We're
Don't let me interrupt you.
losing Noah. I love the fact that we are respecting how big of a loss Noah Brown is. I mean, Noah Brown, let's just be honest. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. He's not going to the Hall of
Caught the
anything.
greatest pass in franchise history.
He will go down forever for us, though. He
since
is
92.
He has endeared himself to losing him is such it's like guttural. So that's awesome because we can replace a wide receiver for what he can do as a wide receiver, but what he's done, like we've like fallen in love with the guy. Dan Quinn's called him a glue type player. You just if you're around football long enough in your life, you just know that nothing can happen. Nothing can happen if you don't have a few guys who do exactly what it is that you want them to do, how you want them to do it, when you want them to do it, no matter what is going on. And everyone looks at those guys. And Noah Brown kind of strikes me as kind of one of those guys. And he has been for this year. So I love the fact that we're celebrating him. But I just want to say we're going to be okay because he replaced somebody else already this
Exactly.
season.
And that's all I'm going to say.
It's so crazy.
We love to celebrate, and that's
Yes.
fine. His 2 first downs a game, when healthy, is what I'm hoping Jamison Crowder can supplant. That's all. 2 plays. But
We went to Noah constantly.
it could be 2 big plays. Well, just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. We didn't know who he was to start the year.
I love him so
along
much.
with the rest of our roster.
I'm
and
so
and that's
upset
the cool
about
part.
Noah Brown. It's like crazy.
Yeah, well, you're
but you know
allowed
what?
to be. To each their own.
So our
I
offense.
was like, oh, well, I guess Diami. I just don't
Yes.
like that.
And I love
other
Diami.
guys are banged up. And you know what?
Hey.
Luke McCaffrey, go get yours, man. Come
Go
on.
get yours.
Let's
This is
go.
your shot. This is I thought they were hiding him in the preseason. I was wrong, but I think he's going to be great. But the cool thing about our offense is it wasn't a big name piece of paper to start the season, and we're plugging and
It was
playing.
a nothing to start the
Yeah,
season.
it was a nothing to start the season.
Gigantic nothing burger.
So this is it. No matter who we're throwing in there, like when you say when I read that KJ Osborne was coming on, I was like, all right, I know that guy.
KJ.
Osborne, he
I
played for
remember that guy.
Minnesota, he had a couple 50-catch seasons, and I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah.
wait, that's a name guy. I actually know who that is. So that's cool. But
Now these days, I just think obviously he can block. Go ahead.
he better be able to
No,
block.
obviously he can block, or else he wouldn't be here.
Yeah, De'Ami Brown's gonna block.
Yes.
That's De'Ami
No,
Brown.
our receivers, if you can't block, you wouldn't be here. That,
If you can't block, you ain't
it wasn't a joke. I'm saying,
Yeah.
if there's one thing I do know about KJ, he hasn't had a lot of receptions lately. But he can block.
He can block.
He can block.
But he's a big boy, and he will bite you in the butt if you leave him alone.
Wait, why the shit is he doing that? Why would he do that? There's a face mask, there's mouthpieces, there's butt pads.
Don't bite the butt pad. Although they don't check for those as much as they should. I think that our offense won't skip a beat. We'll either be good or we won't, but it's not gonna be because it's not because of Noah Brown. All right. On the defensive side of the ball.
You save that one. We'll either be good or we won't be very good.
We won't be very good.
But it will be one or the other.
But it will not be because Noah Brown's not there.
Brown.
That's the honest fact. And I think that's what Greg Martin was. Greg just got there faster because he sits every seat in Greg's house is a park bench. And there's ducks in a pond in most of the rooms in his house, and he just yells at them most of the day and
Fair.
Throws bread at them.
I was gonna say coins or bread.
Sometimes it's bread shaped like coins, with Greg's face printed on Greg's face in Greg We Trust printed on it. I don't know where that came from. On the defensive side of the ball, the cool thing about our defense is there's been turnover. By the way. Yes, we feel like as comfortable and confident with this group as we have, but let's also recognize the crazy amount of turnover on our defense. We lost Jonathan Allen up front. That's crazy huge. Our number one draft pick middle linebacker who started the season in our plans was cut midseason. Our number one overall cornerback draft pick from last season was cut midseason. Everything that we thought, or a lot of things that we thought, everything's kind of been like changed around. But with the one thing that is true, I feel like we have gotten better, and we're not missing a lot of guys because of injury. And we add Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, and love to see Cleveland Farrell be able to play a little bit. But he was the only other name out there. Having Lattimore not on their team and on our team is a definite advantage for a W. I don't care about your fantasy shit. I don't care about anything else. Marshawn Lattimore, I hope to God plays. He went full today. We all saw that. Dan Quinn said the same thing about him. He said about Jaden Daniels the week before he started. He said he checked all the boxes, did all the stuff they said, and we're excited about it. If he doesn't play, it's because, and I think Dan Quinn tells the truth about that. Up to that point. Now, anything can happen between then and Sunday, obviously. But
Kevin,
Redskins.
I'm just going to say,
go ahead.
We don't sit Marshawn Lattimore to save him for anything.
No, not
this
at
week.
all.
Okay.
If he can go, and he went today, they said he went full. He ran full. Quinn said he went full. No, Quinn said everything. Full. And it says full. He went full. Can't wait to see him.
Yep.
Can't wait to see him and how it affects our coverage in the secondary. And by the way, when Valdez-Scantling, when he's like, hold up, who do you all want me to check? Like, you've been going against him every day at practice. He's like, no, I haven't. He was like the fourth string motherfucker.
I never played. I don't even know
this
his game.
dude's going through a training camp. You think this guy's afraid of any wide receiver out there this week? He is going to take over one entire half of the field and maul whoever's there.
I'll tell you
because
right now,
he is that kind of player.
Who that benefits the most on our defense?
Go ahead,
Jeremy Chin. Because that now, if you're saying Marshawn, that's you. Then all of a sudden,
Marshawn's like, y'all got anyone else healthier than Valdez-Scantling up in this mother? Come on.
I think this is going to be a huge week for Chin. I think he brings down at least one interception. I think it shortens the amount of field that he's going to have to worry about. The quarterback, I mean, Jake Hayner is not challenging Marshawn Lattimore that much. I mean, I understand. Just so we're clear, I know this is Lattimore's 8th season. He's not a spring. It's not like we're getting like a 25-year-old. But think about this. He came in the league at 21. This is his age 28 season. And we have him under contract at our option, as you told me, for age 29 and age 30 season and under market value. So I'm not trying to sit here and tell you we're getting all pro, prime of his life, 24-year-old Marshawn Lattimore. But he is our best cornerback now.
And we just got him healthy.
And we've let him sit 4 games.
We allowed him to heal.
Yes.
He's a vet.
Yep.
Yes, fine. The first half of the first quarter, he might go out there and, knock the dust off and, get the cobwebs out, whatever. This guy is built for this. This isn't some guy that we're like, hey, he could be.
Stud.
Exactly. He's at the
dog.
top of the dog food chain. He is
He's an alpha male.
An alpha badass is what he is. And we finally get to see it in burgundy and gold.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin, I love when you say that because we kind of said it at the same time because that is what he is.
He's a son of a bitch.
All the guys who play next to guys like Marshall Lattimore know exactly what kind of player that is.
Terry McLaurin said he showed up freshman year at Ohio State and was like, "Oh shit!"
Did you see them battle when they played each other?
And it was just it's the highest level of competition is what we got. A guy that's going to compete at the highest level and give everything that he can for the burgundy and gold to win that day is the guy we got for the next 38 games at a minimum.
Yeah, I think about this.
I don't think we've non-playoff.
I don't think we've added a guy like this to our roster since D'Angelo Hall.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. This isn't just a name. This guy, he
can actually play.
The true grit that is who he is exemplifies everything that we've done this year under Dan Quinn, specifically to a point of need.
Yep.
So Jesus,
it's a huge. It's a crazy. It's a crazy, and it's pronounced this week because he used to play for them, and now he plays for us.
Culture-wise, he's not taking someone's spot that earned it.
No,
everyone's out there trying to figure out who's got what spot still.
Well,
but I know
it was his spot.
St. Ristol's like, now I get to guard somebody that's not the number one for somebody.
It elevates our defense in so many ways.
St. Ristel and this dude in the next 2 years could form.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you have options because also if you have. This is the beauty of. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna make a note here. I'm gonna say. All right, so I'm gonna put a spot in that because the St. Ristel and the Jeremy Chin benefit here. This is when Lattimore hits the field, you'll think to yourself, okay, that's 1/11th of the starting defense. This is one of 11 guys.
I personally don't think about it in fractions.
All right, decimals probably for you, but I would mostly decimals. And that's fair.
9.1.
Yeah, carry the one. The
sorry.
Marshawn Lattimore changes the whole calculation of everything.
The calculus?
It changes the calculus.
Did he? This guy?
It does.
It's awesome what he's gonna. The impact's gonna be incredible.
You can't as a defensive coordinator, and we've been struggling in a variety of positions, but certainly in the corner spot for a while. We've done well at safety for a while, but when you have a guy like Marshawn Lattimore who's healthy and playing at his capability, he's a top cornerback in the league, and that allows you to do other things that we have not been able to do, like things that you, as a coach, you can't say to some to the weak side linebacker or to the defensive end or to the off corner. You can't be like, hey, by the way, maybe just maybe gamble here, gamble there. You don't do it if you don't have a guy like Marshawn Lattimore on the field.
No, it's hand in hand.
Yes,
and
it changes everything
specifically for the attack that we want out of our 4-man front. Our defensive ends are not worried about screen. They are built to go and get that man that's holding the ball.
And do you see how they stay at quarterback depth?
It's amazing. If you overrush, it's curtains. It's done. It is the most beautiful thing in the world.
So beautiful.
It really it's like, honestly, I don't want to ever reference football and soccer, but the spacing at that specific moment is exact as a defensive guy. That's
what Dante Fowler is.
I've coached soccer the last few years at the middle school level.
You have.
Due to my athletic director wife. It's been some B team shit, but honestly, that it's taught. It's taught. And at this level, if you absolutely get down, if you get too far up that field, you are opening up these huge holes for these freaks, for these guys like Jaden Daniels. When you practice against them every day, you're going to learn.
Daniel Jones.
And that's why different D. It's totally different. One's
JD, not DJ. I understand.
I know.
But no, you're right. The cool thing about and it has been noticeable watching our defensive ends, namely Dante Fowler, rush to the depth of the quarterback.
He's been awesome. He's outplayed his contract as far as any edge in the damn league.
Montez Sweat has done a good job of that.
Well, he's a stud.
Brian Arakpo was famous for. I mean, he
over pursuit.
I feel like he was running a 40-yard sprint.
He was like
30-yard
try harder
quarterback on every play. We're like, how many yards can I run looking like this and not getting the call?
I know, but Brian Arakpo, if he played in the days with Dexter and Charles Mann, would have been exactly one of those guys. Because back then, no one gave a shit about any of that because the quarterback was not going to expose the pass rush and take off for 50. It just was not happening.
Not until
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham. And I hate the fact that I'm wearing Randall colors tonight, but I love Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, I always loved him
My
too.
all-time favorite Philadelphia Eagle. But thankfully, I got to root for him for a different team, the Minnesota
and
Vikings.
You know what? The respect level and what you learn from a guy like that. I knew that as a quarterback on fourth down, like if things got hairy, I could just punt it. And unless a lineman went downfield, like we had a pass play called, like I could just I could scramble out right and just like let one loose on 4th and 2 if I was in major trouble. And twice in high school I did that and got freaking killed afterwards, and we got a first down. Thank you, Randall Cunningham. But I didn't even know. I was like, so cool. The dude punted from the back of his own end zone and pinned the Giants inside the 10 on a windy day at the Vet.
Yep.
Or it might have been the Meadowlands. I don't know.
I think it was the Vet. I actually, to be honest with you, I don't remember the punt. It was a 90-yard punt, 90-plus yard punt. Randall Cunningham was awesome. Getting to watch him throw balls to Randy Moss, right? For a hot second, didn't he throw to Randy Moss?
Yeah. He backed up Culpepper and then I think took over.
Yeah, that was my favorite Randall Cunningham, obviously because I hate the Eagles, and then my dad would can't handle it.
No, who can?
No, it divides our family.
As you wear Kelly Green. Talking about Randall Cunningham.
It's true. I knew it. But listen, the greatness of our defensive health, even without Jonathan Allen. We can't say it without Jonathan Allen, but it's so crazy that is our biggest injury on defense, and we drafted Johnny Newton. And we have Fedarian Mathis. We have these guys, Dante Fallow on the outside. So our defensive line is fine. There's nothing wrong with our defensive line. And getting Marshawn Lattimore will allow. I think it's going to open up Jeremy Chin. I'll be interested to see what that changes with regard to Frankie Louvu. I don't know if it will or won't. But
the whole defense is reconnected here, but it's going to allow this. An interception or two from the guy that we just took, because when Frankie Louvu is there and you got 1 second to make a choice, have a man made of granite smash your face and run right through you. Well, not your face, because that's a penalty. Smash your chest while he runs right through you, or get rid of the ball. You're going to choose get rid of the ball. Eventually, after that edge rush has come all day, you got to. So
Jake,
this is part of the equation moving forward more so than anything, which is why we're all so excited.
Does he make the mistake of dropping an old audible that Marshawn knows?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And like, you're not audibling to something that Marshawn's gonna be able to jump, because
he's that's what he's looking for all day.
All day. I know. No, because he's a brilliant football player.
Yeah.
He studies the game. He's a scientist.
He
this
knows
is a guy that understands the game. That this is the best
because
part.
I think he can see what the formation is in the situation, and he knows what they're trying to do.
I know everyone's excited about the prospects of him, but if you really know who he is as a ball player, he's a badass son of a bitch with a huge brain who somehow cannot stop his competitive Jones from pouring out of his pores. This is the perfect guy for Daniel Quinn and Joe Witt to have to mold for the next two and a quarter.
And think about this. Everything that we can do below market while Jaden is on his rookie contract is absolutely essential.
Of course.
Marshawn, listen, if Marshawn can't stay healthy, if he never plays a game for us, if he doesn't work out, we don't know him anything, I believe. Right? No guaranteed money beyond.
No, nothing guaranteed.
Yeah, nothing guaranteed.
He had a huge, crazy deal.
It's hard to imagine.
They're paying most of it this year.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard
to
imagine.
I hope he beats them with a pick six, as they pay a majority of his salary while he plays for us.
Yes.
But I have no hatred for the people of New Orleans.
None whatsoever. Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, we're out the draft pick. But best case scenario, we have a starting cornerback who is in his 20s, by the way. Is speaking for a couple of guys in their early 40s, a guy who's in his 20s and can still play ball at one of the highest levels in the league. You got him for less than $20 million a year while your quarterback's on his rookie contract. Really allows you to do a lot of things because simultaneous to that, so is Shane Ristel on his rookie contract.
What a sweet deal that is.
So is Johnny Newton on his rookie contract.
Embrace those two people moving forward.
Yes. So you have This is
We got a
how
window.
this is how you win in the boardroom in this league. These kinds of computations, making sure that you maximize certain windows and listen, this opportunity came to them mid-season and they took it. The beauty of the Marshawn Lattimore deal really, really, really is the next 2 years because we think we know who he is.
And that Jahan Dotson laid down. He laid down in the road for this.
By the way, did you love how
He's a hero.
they gave us a Jahan Dotson first and 10 pass? You saw that, right? I mean, the first play of the game, Howie Roseman was lined up at quarterback, and he took the snap and he threw it to Jahan Dotson. He's like, "Yeah, see that?
No,
that's what we're on."
No, Sirianni had that planned out in the backyard all week, and good for you, because then he went back to being a big fat nothing.
By the way, their locker room. Let's talk about the NFC East for just a moment, because really the NFC East in terms of competitiveness boils down to two teams: the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys, despite the fact that they beat us, they're cooked, and the Giants, are garbage. So, and I hate to say that because I would personally love for our division to be the NFC North.
This is a big mistake.
I'll split that mistake with you. I would say I'm not looking for a welcome mat team, in our division. I love beating the Giants. I love beating all the teams, but I really, really want to get to a spot where we're the best division in the league again, and we're competitive at the highest level, like the NFC North. So
listen, Dallas has had 3 12-5 years in the last 4, and I hate it, but the Eagles are the Eagles, so it's been us and the Giants. Only one of us needs to hold up our end of the bargain, and it's us. Now the Dallas Cowboys are taking a step back. I'm fine with that.
Micah wants to be here so bad. He wants to be here, and there's no way anyone can make it happen.
Whether it's tonight or before next week, I would love to hear everyone's opinion. I am admittedly horrified because I'm acting like a little punk about committing a Juan Soto-ish deal to Micah Parsons. I am. I'm not. I don't know why. He fits perfectly. I love Micah Parsons.
But that Juan Soto-ish deal,
that money is. I'm scared about the money. The money is horrifying.
It's going to cost you draft picks if you want him next year.
No, that's not happening.
Okay.
That Gerard's not letting that happen.
Never.
He knows exactly. He's not letting the same. He's not going Saquon Barkley on this defensive scenario.
You know who I want at linebacker for us next year? I know you. You know. I told you.
Chris Handberger.
Yes, Chris Handberger.
Done deal.
No,
nailed it.
I want the geriatric linebacking core of Bobby Wagner and Khalil Mack, 2 34-year-olds, I believe, turning 35.
As my back tightens up.
I want it to be Luvu, Wagner, and Mack. That's my Mack is my placeholder for Micah Parsons. A 34-year-old, 35-year-old Mack.
50 bazillions.
Mack?
He just signed a 19.9.
Yep.
For a 1-year deal.
I think we can get him for 2 years at 35.
What about Fowler? Signed a 1-year deal for sub $4 million.
You're right.
And he's a free agent, and he just wowed us. So, what's that market for a dude that signed a sub $4 million deal and just goes out there and finishes top 5 in sacks in the league, possibly?
I would play Khalil Mack at linebacker. I'll keep Dante Fowler.
So, when Alvin Kamara's like, all right, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Y'all really got old.
Let's do it.
No,
let's do it.
We're gonna need one linebacker that runs like a son of a bitch.
I want an over the hill gang part 2.
We need a linebacker that runs. Luvu runs fine. Wagner, well, he tackles great.
He tackles great.
We need a Kyle Hamilton
safety
type of linebacker.
Kyle Hamilton,
a
walk-up safety,
a hybrid-ish guy that can come off the edge.
There's nobody available in free agency at that.
I know, but we can make somebody that's the part about this staff that makes me excited.
What about like Buda Baker?
When they say Quan Martin can you put on 13 pounds and play closer and also get to the flats on misdirection, tight end, H-back, fullback bullshit.
AGH loves Jordan McGee.
I love Jordan McGee. Love Jordan McGee. He is going to be a guy that we talk about in this basement for the next 3 years.
Yep.
Shitty-ass injury cost him some rookie experience, but he has been next to Bobby Wagner since day one, the way we always talked about. Love him. Can't wait to see him.
Can't wait to see him.
He's a physical badass. And when Bobby Wagner takes a liking to you, you are going to instantly become twice the football player that you were before you talked to Bobby Wagner, in my opinion. And we haven't even discussed Dan Quinn and Joe Witt yet.
No.
Ken Norton Jr. is his goddamn position coach. Are we joking about who Jordan McGee could be?
Jordan McGee could be a player. At the end of the day, he's going to be on our team for a while. We're going to find out.
He's going to be a dude.
We're not going. It won't be for lack of throwing him out there and playing. Jordan McGee is going to play for us. I do love the idea of Khalil Mack, but whatever.
I love how guys love players in this league.
But
I love
this
you want the return of the Mac.
Right into my point that I wanted to make about when we were talking about our defense and we're talking about the replacing guys like Noah Brown. When I hear news like Noah Brown is not playing this week, Austin Eckler's out, Zach Ertz is out, and all the next man up scenarios that happen in week 15 of an NFL season. If your team has 3 wins, then yeah, you're thinking about the free agency and the draft. Our team, it doesn't. Our team is on the cusp of the playoffs. I'm not. My priority is not on the draft and free agency. My priority is on this. No. However, that is a sign of why we will have a leg up in getting some of these guys to want to come here. The biggest problem for teams like ours in the last 15 plus years, and there's other ones like it, is that guys just don't want to come here. They don't want to play in places like this has been. What's happening right now is this is a place where people are going to want to be. And when I talk about guys like Khalil Mack, for example, or other guys, this is a potential destination for someone.
Pass rushers.
Yeah, for someone who wants to come here. Exactly.
But specifically
for pass rushers.
One-trick ponies can come here for $4 million.
Or more.
And go get yourself paid in somewhere else if you want. Or if you want to stick around to a place that has a great culture and maybe have fun on the ride while making your $4 million, because if you're making $4 million playing the greatest game ever invented,
you're probably winning.
You're doing all right, man.
Hang in there. Hang in there, kid. Your $4 million is going to be doing just great.
No,
all right. Where are we at? So we just played the Tennessee Titans, and this is the 48 hours of Victory Tuesday. We only have a couple hours of Victory Tuesday left, even though it's technically Wednesday. Kevin, you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. 7 wins, and I believe 6 losses.
That's where I got us.
Closes us out to week 13.
I'm 1 game behind par. That's all right. I'm +1. I'll take +1.
T. Strachan had us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins.
T and I are +1.
6 losses.
+1 for T and I.
Yes. And T really struggled with the Bears game, by the way. That's the difference for him. He had us at, because I look at that and I see like it was a W and he changed it to an L.
Yeah.
He would be right on it right now if he kept that.
He doesn't worry about
2,
that, though.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I had us, again, we talked about this. Like, I had us at 9 and 4. You and I have 8 and 5 surrounded. 11. We
all do.
Repeat the chorus. 11 wins get you to the playoffs. 100%.
100%.
10 wins most likely get you to the playoffs.
But you could catch a little bit of a side ball graze and then be lying down when everyone jumps in the bus.
Sean McVay.
And it could be too late.
Sean McVay could side ball graze you. Yeah. Bing. Bing.
No, that was too hard. Just like a little one.
Yeah. That's why this is a must-win game against the New Orleans Saints. People hate the must-win. No, it's a must-win. You play the game of football to win the game. All games you want to win. If you want to make the playoffs, you got to win in Week 15 against a team that's throwing out Jake Haener.
If it's freezing cold 2 weeks before Christmas and you give two shits about your team, it's a must win. That's all.
On the road.
I hate September must wins. Those mean nothing, except for they do mean that equally
Except you play
everything.
like the Cowboys in week 2 or something.
But we're talking about exactly.
Yeah, which we didn't.
But a must win. That's a different must win.
It's a different must win.
There's the must win is the one that sends your ass home. And everyone, I know all the old heads have schooled me on this.
Winner go home. There's the winner go home.
That's the must win.
The winner go home is the must win.
It's over.
It's the must win.
Or you go to one of the greatest experiences.
Must is must.
You either advance to one of the greatest experiences of your life, or you ride the bus home with a bunch of stank ass sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
No one rides the bus anymore, but you go home on a plane or a bus with your teammates.
I'd rather ride the bus.
Me too.
That's
what's great about the NFC East.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, New York, it's more of a train.
Bus.
You got to take the bus to the train, the train to the bus. Yeah.
Give me the bus all day.
Honestly, this is my.
This is a muff win.
It's Greg.
This
Martin.
is a muff win.
Greg Martin. I don't want to get out ahead of myself. And I'm someone that's like, this is the greatest. That could be the greatest. That could be the greatest 2-word comment in the history. Because
he always does it too. He always does it.
I know. And I want him to know that
he's like a savant.
Well, I want him
don't
to
know what he
that
even does for a living professionally.
I think about it on other days of the week, not just Wednesday or Monday, the substitute days. Like, it's a muff win.
Do you want to call him up? Do you want to bring him on the show?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. All right, we're gonna do that.
Tonight's gonna be tough, but 100% I do because that would be that's a muff win.
We're gonna do some final score predictions. We're also gonna lay out some programming notes. I noticed we have Robert Cohen, Greg Martin, Ken Harris is involved. Here's our programming schedule. Okay, and what did I do?
No, Ken Harris. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm like, hey,
every time I applause and say Ken, it's not just about you.
I feel like it's about me, some kind of. All right.
It is two great Kens.
All right, so here's the deal. Today is December 10th,
11th, about to be the 12th.
So December. Oh, but it's also Wednesday. So forget about anything I just said. Yesterday was December 10th, Tuesday. Next Tuesday is December 17th. We will be here in this basement doing a show.
Tuesday the 17th. It's Tuesday.
That's our last Tuesday of the year. The following 2 weeks, our plan is to do shows on Monday night. Now that means there'll be a Monday Night Football game being played while we do our show, which is super fun. We anticipate making that a part of our commentary, and we are going live for a Redskins game this season. It's happening. There's just no way around it. And so here's the deal. This Sunday we can't do it. So that's December.
I can't. Ken Harris. I got McNamara on the schedule. Freshman, JV, varsity. Whoever scheduled.
And that's December. What's this? What December 15th? No. What's this Sunday? This Sunday.
The Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Sunday the 15th.
Sunday the 15th. That's the day we play the Saints. We will not be live that day. December 22nd against the Eagles. We don't know exactly when they're going to schedule that game yet. I believe it's going to be later in that Sunday. That's also going to be a rough scenario. That's our plan. That we're like 50-50 for going live that day. The weekend for the Falcons game, we will be live for the Falcons game, and we will be live for the Cowboys game. I don't make many proclamations now, but I'm making those proclamations, and here's why. We're gonna have who we're gonna have. We're gonna figure out how to be here for that. We're gonna have a TV behind the camera. We're gonna be watching the game with you guys. You can put the sound up. You can put the sound down. It's totally up to you.
See you guys in the green room at halftime.
See you in the green room at halftime is going to maybe be the greatest green room of all time. This should be something that we do. And
sorry, Ken Harris, Joe Davis, and Greg Olson this week, and it is what we should do. Because we don't always get Joe Davis and Greg Olson.
No, this week we're getting Joe and Greg. Greg's the best.
I love him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't mind? Monday Night Football. I don't. I watch every week and I have no troubles. I've been super negative about it, but we don't have to have them on if we're talking a little. We can have the boys.
All right, so you guys just hang out with us.
I can't either, Greg. I always have to have something else to do.
Pass the word, spread the word to other Redskins podcasts that you listen to. blogs that you read, anyone that wants to hang out for a game. We want to make this thing, and we have a couple weeks to do it. Of regular season games, because that leads me to the fact that we will, and I believe we have to commit to this. We will be doing the Redskins playoff game live from this basement. I mean, that just has to be the case. Doesn't it?
I hope so.
It has to be the case.
I do have to bartend a certain amount of Sundays.
We'll figure
We'll
it out.
go live from the.
We'll go live from the. If that's what we have to do, we will do what we must. Dune Prophecy style. Is anyone else watching that? I know you're watching Silo. I'm doing Dune Prophecy at the same time.
Silo.
Are you all caught up?
Not yet.
All right, I won't say that.
I'm done this week. Don't say shit.
I won't. But you haven't done this week. Is anyone else watching Silo or Dune Prophecy?
Sorry, Greg.
What did Greg say?
I can only focus on the game when the game's on. Can't talk to anybody, but there's so much time out in between. It'd be fun to talk to some knuckleheads.
Yeah, I want to do
who
some
I know
game
love
commentary.
it as much as I do. Yeah.
I want to do some.
We don't want to ruin it.
I want to put. We can put comments on the board. What we're not going to do. There will be no sound from the game coming through the microphone to your house. So you can handle however you want. If you want to listen to the people who are calling the game, be my guest. But
yes, Greg. Yes, Ken.
We're doing pregame. We're going to be doing some pregame, and Kevin
calisthenics.
Kevin can get you into the bar.
We have a breakfast. The team mom has cooked a breakfast. It's I believe it's sausage and hard boiled egg breakfast.
NES, will you come to the studio for this? I feel like you live in the area. You live close enough. You live close enough to where you can make it to the studio. NES, I want an answer, yes or no. Also, by the way, you want to start Dune Prophecy? The answer is yes. Dune Prophecy is a good show. If you like the movies, if you like that kind of thing, HBO Max does a good job. All right, so we will call the game. I mean, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing our thing. We're going to be and I will also tell people we'll have timing. Remember, there's some clapping involved, but we'll have time. We'll have some timing stuff. To make sure that we are in line with everyone can be in line with us, for the broadcast part of it.
And I have 3 helmets up to NFL specifications at the house. I believe 2 of them will fit. Mine might be a little tight. You'll be fine.
I have a sneaky big nugget.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right, good.
No, you get the extra large. The double XL is tough.
So we're live on, tentatively scheduled to be live on December 17th, December 23rd, and December 30th. Those are our next 3 shows for Basement podcasts. But we will also be doing live game, hangouts. And let's just, man, let's get after it. Let's get after it because I feel like
it's the most wonderful time.
It is. But on top of that, it's like we have tried to drink from the cup of false hope so many times in the last 15 years, just trying to find whatever it is the best possible outcome could be for not greatness. And I think that this, Rubik's Cube situation, the way that all the squares are mixed up right now, I feel like it's in our favor. I feel like this isn't a false hope. This is something we can root for.
And our ownership group has the formula. They know they're like 3, 6.
I know you're a Rubik's Cube genius.
I did it once.
I never did it once.
And I couldn't do it the next time, so I did the sticker thing to my cousin.
I've watched the videos of people doing it, and I still can't do it. Yeah. I've taught myself guitar just by watching.
We need the echo back.
Ken Harris. He's the truth sayer. He is the truth sayer of the group. All right. Yeah, that's a little Dave Letterman for you. All right. So we went a little bit deep tonight, or a lot. What is it? A lag will probably mean. We'll get you some echo. We'll get you all of it. We're gonna get you all of it.
What did you guys want for Christmas? A little more echo?
Here, we're getting all the. More than your stocking can stuff. How about that?
How
More
about
echo than your stocking.
T. Strachan to bring some legitimacy to see?
Yes.
Legitimacy to this scenario.
As he always does. And he always will. So
hey,
hang out with us.
T's
the whole
great.
night.
T was laughing all day long.
He was.
T's good, man. We had a slick backyard scenario in Kensington, and his wheelchair on the way down.
There's an atmospheric river coming through the East Coast right now.
It's not good. It rained for 25 straight hours.
That's not ever going to be a good spot for him to travel in.
But love all the shout outs, the wishes, the prayers, the thoughts.
Keep
them up, man. Keep them up because it's helping all of us. We're brothers, man. Ken and I miss this guy more than you guys can imagine. But we're not going to sit here and be sad because we're going to do what T would do. We're going to show up on Tuesday or Wednesday, hang out with our brothers, and have a ball. And we'll see him very, very soon. Little Birdie told me also something else.
Oh, wait, before you say that little birdie stuff, because I know what that is. I
listen up. If you're still listening, listen up. Listen up for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
That Tuesdays, the next the 17th is the next Tuesday, but the next 2 Tuesdays after that, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, just please remember, these are great Tuesdays. They don't always line up like this. Once every 7 or 8 years, we get the best 2 nights of the year. Literally the best 2 nights of the year. And I won't forget about this next week or the following week. The best 2 nights of the year for professionals, not amateurs. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve on a Tuesday because it lines up with time off from work. It lines up with whatever family and friends. It lines up with hanging out and partying. And this week they're Tuesdays. Don't sleep on that one teeny little fact. And then the other thing is it'd be easy for us to be like, we're a Tuesday show. And so we're not going to do shows because we're not going to do shows on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But here's the deal. Our team is good. They're good, and they're going to the playoffs. And we're not going to stop doing shows when our team is good. We've been doing shows when our team is bad for a decade. There's no way we're all going to be like, oh, our team is going to the playoffs. We're just going to sit this one out for a couple of weeks. We'll see you guys in 2025. No fucking way. No fucking way. We didn't do what we've been doing for this long to not take part in this ride. But a little birdie, by the way, told you something.
I'm not supposed to say anything, but if you've gotten past the blah blah. The Redskins training camp is going to be in West Virginia at Shepherd College High School. There's a $30 million check.
I'm going.
You're going to hear all about it in the next couple weeks, but it was broken here first. Shh, I'm talking quiet. Shepherd College, West Virginia. Most gorgeous stadium on the riverfront in the most beautiful place in West Virginia.
Best part about it?
Not Northern Virginia. There's
not
no
Northern
traffic.
Virginia.
They've infused a $30 million check to the athletic department.
They're going to upgrade the facilities. I will tell you this.
It's like Carlisle 2.0. It's the most beautiful place to do this.
So here's the deal. This show will air live from Shepherd College.
It will.
During training camp next season, if that's when it starts. I don't know when it's going to start, but
it's going to be the one after.
The first time training camp is in Shepherd College. Yeah. My best friend from high school has that place wired. He knows a couple people, potentially even in the Hall of Fame at Shepherd.
Just let's not dime me out real quick because I was told don't say nothing about nothing to say nothing.
All I'm
to
saying
nobody.
is I love
Ken was told the same thing. Don't say nothing. But we love West Virginia. This is a gorgeous place. This is the most beautiful. What a brilliant decision. What a great ownership group. Let's freaking go.
I don't know what people are asking us to do online, but we're not doing it. We're not doing any of it.
Oh boy, to bum bum.
He has nothing, and he just gives everything. He just gives the last part of himself.
There is no echo to.
On behalf of Tim Strachan, he's Kevin Ricca.
And man, you guys are the freaking best. Love this. Love that you did a Wednesday and a Tuesday. So cool that we can just adapt, adjust, step up, get a W, and hang out with this crew. Love it, Ken.
It's so important to spend these days together, not just because they're holiday days, but because they are late season contention days. We don't take those days for granted. We will be back. We will stay here. We will be here. We will be our team and our family, and we appreciate you guys. On behalf of First Amendment
football
Sports,
family, baby.
I'm Ken Meringolo. Muff Win Sunday.
It's a Muff Win weekend.
It's a Muff Win Sunday. We're still live. Let's get. You know what? Where's my phone? I had it here. I'm not
You want
gonna
me to text
Here
it?
we go. No. I just because I unfortunately I have to
I love a muff win.
keep my.
I always get nervous when a big muff win's rolling in.
I have to keep my Spotify Wrapped going. Oh my gosh! All right, we're not. I mean, we're not. I'm not leaving without our outro. And I know E.O. Anderson is still on the board because it's 3 hours
The
early for
most
him.
wonderful time for Rio.
We're still live.
Detach it, bro. Just let that thing rip.
I never thought my family would ever see the words "dislocated boner" next to each other before.
Well, that was your first mistake.
And God, I was so wrong. I didn't know that was something I could be wrong about. They're like, "Hey, sir."
But why would you want to be right about it? Like, why would you even dabble in that? Like, you should have thought, if I ever think that, guess what's going to happen? They'll show me.
They will absolutely show you. All right, so Roadcaster, we're gonna
Muffnificent.
might be. Oh, EO is still on the board. Manner of speaking. Ken Harris. NES. Are you coming to the show? Are you coming to the live show? I want to know this answer. I don't think I got
strong
one.
enough to be our man? No, that
Yes.
one. The Sheryl Crow one didn't go over very well.
Well,
It's fine.
she's
I'll work
great.
on it. She is great, but
All right, NES. I want to know. Are you coming? I'm getting this. Here we go. Let's go. NES, don't back out. Do not even act.
if there's a
like you
go-go
signed up.
version of Sheryl Crow "Strong Enough to Be My Man," I want to hear it.
It's strong enough to be one, man. Where we at? Here we go. EO, I hope you're making millions of dollars, EO. I hope literally like you can quit your job on the fact that your song is the theme song and the Barbara Ann of podcasts. Here we go.
It always reminds me of the
And
holiday.
NES, you're coming back here to this basement for a Redskins broadcast or any other show on Tuesday. Don't ask me what show, any show, whatever show you want.
Your call, dog.
Yeah, dude. We're not. It's not a mystery.
Like, when you get here, we'll be like, "How
This
did you
isn't-
get here?"
This isn't Law and Order. We're not like making it hard. It's we do it on Tuesdays against this back wall with all these pictures and this Marine Corps flag and this Redskins helmet. I don't know where else. Like I have nowhere else to go. Like we're not hiding. We're not hiding. We're still live. How about we go this?
You muff is and muff is and muff.